Pardon me. Ugly sponge coming through.
People respect self-esteem.
Bikini Bottom is home to all sorts of sea creatures. While many of them live a relatively mundane life, others are a little more eccentric and leave quite an impression.
Hi, Kevin.
Whatever. Next question, please.
Hi, Kevin.
Hello, loser.
Welcome to The Rewind. Today, we'll be counting down the top 10 SpongeBob characters. But before we begin, make sure to give this video a like and hit that subscribe button for good luck. Okay, number 10, Bubble Bass.
Extra shingles with a shimmy and a squeeze. Light axle grease, make it cry. Burn it and let it swim.
We serve food here, sir.
This obese sea bass has a personality to match his unseemly physical appearance. Although Bubble Bass is featured throughout the series, his most notable appearance still has to be his debut in the Season 1 episode Pickles. In this episode, we watch as Bubble Bass places an absurdly complicated order at the Krusty Krab, only for SpongeBob to turn around and present him with a perfectly executed order. Or so SpongeBob thinks. After biting into the Krabby Patty, Bubble Bass is disappointed to find that SpongeBob forgot the pickles. SpongeBob is obviously devastated by this, but in the end, we find out that Bubble Bass was hiding the pickles under his tongue in an attempt to score a free meal.
And there's the pickles from last time, too!
And there's my car keys.
And there's my ride.
Number 9, Patrick Starr.
Hey, Patrick, are you angry too?
Yeah,
What's the matter?
I can't see my forehead.
SpongeBob's best friend and right-hand man, Patrick never fails to bring some comedic relief to an otherwise ordinary day. This Neanderthalic pink starfish lives under a rock and has an entire living space made of sand and is usually unemployed. Opposites do attract though, and he's constantly tagging along no matter how bizarre or pointless his adventures with SpongeBob may be. Through thick and thin, SpongeBob can always count on Patrick to be by his side.
Hello?
I love you.
Number 8, the Flying Dutchman.
It's the real Flying Dutchman!
Bikini Bottom might be full of ordinary sea creatures, but it isn't devoid of the paranormal. The Flying Dutchman is an evil spirit who haunts the 7 seas on his ghostly ship. More often than not, the Flying Dutchman is malicious and downright sadistic, scaring people and stealing their souls just for the fun of it. In fact, in his very first appearance, he shows up to steal the souls of everyone in Bikini Bottom simply because he's tired of people dressing up as him for Halloween. That being said, it can be difficult to take this undead pirate seriously, considering that SpongeBob and Patrick seem to easily outwit the Dutchman on more than one occasion.
Never mind what it means. I just want it to look scary.
So you don't want it to look good?
Get moving!
Sailor's life is wonderful.
Number 7, Mrs. Puff.
She's the teacher.
What about the teacher? What? As if I really look like this.
Mrs. Puff has been SpongeBob's boating instructor for, well, as long as anyone can remember. At first a benevolent school teacher who gave good noodle stars to her best students, SpongeBob has turned Mrs. Puff into a sadistic and homicidal maniac who wants nothing more than to get rid of SpongeBob by any means necessary. This pufferfish has even served time in prison and was once sent to a confined psychiatric facility where she thought she had finally found peace from the yellow sponge forever. But no matter how hard Mrs. Puff tries, there's no escape from her miserable day job or her most resented student.
Let's get this over with.
Number 6, Mr. Krabs.
Oh, how's about a free glass of water? A dozen free glasses of water. I'll even put ice in it. No, come back. Oh, $2. $2. No.
SpongeBob's boss and the owner of the Krusty Krab, Eugene Krabs, loves nothing more than money. While we do get to witness this covetous crustacean's paternal side when he's caring for his whale of a daughter, Pearl, he's more often buried in work and trying to protect the Krabby Patty secret formula from his arch nemesis Plankton. If there was one word to best describe this miserly crab, it's cheap. He'll do the unthinkable for something as trivial as a single quarter.
It's my lucky day. A penny.
Your luck just ran out! Unhand that penny or the arm comes off!
Number 5. Squilliam Fancyson.
Hello, Squiddy. We're all ready to be dazzled by your 5-star restaurant.
Wait, Squilliam, I've got to explain.
Squidward's arch-rival, Squilliam Fancyson, is an extremely wealthy and pompous octopus. He goes out of his way to humiliate Squidward whenever possible. Whether it's owning a 5-star restaurant, performing at the Bubble Bowl, or having a luxury home, Squilliam never fails to put Squidward to shame. Not all is sweet victory for our millionaire, though. There have been a few times when Squidward has triumphed over Squilliam in the most unexpected ways. Some fans even theorize that Squilliam's rich persona is just a facade that he's conjured up just to spite Squidward.
I made everything up about my life. I have no yachts, jets, or anything. I was only trying to impress you.
Number 4. Plankton.
This is no ghost. This is Plankton! Stealing me booty!
Speaking of arch-nemeses, Mr. Krabs and Plankton have been battling it out for what seems like an eternity. As the owner of the struggling Chum Bucket, Plankton will stop at nothing to get his hands on the Krabby Patty secret formula. Aside from being an evil genius, one of Plankton's most defining characteristics is his microscopic size. He's so small that he's barely visible to the naked eye. Plankton will always resort to playing dirty for the opportunity to taste even an ounce of Mr. Krabs' success. He's easily the most diabolical character on the show.
Back to the Chum Bucket with you! You pay for this, Krabs!
Number 3. Sandy Cheeks.
There we go.
Believe it or not all citizens of Bikini Bottom are sea creatures. Sandy is a squirrel from Texas who now resides in an underwater air dome. Given that she's a land critter, she walks around in a scuba suit, which allows her to breathe underwater. It's not surprising that she gets homesick from time to time, but both her love for science and exploration, as well as the friendships she's made in Bikini Bottom, keep her from returning back to life on land. Sandy is also SpongeBob's favorite sparring partner, despite the fact that she's significantly better at karate than he is. Number 2. SpongeBob SquarePants himself.
I'll only be gone a second.
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Well, it's none other than the happy-go-lucky yellow sponge himself. SpongeBob is a relentless optimist who finds joy in everything from jellyfishing to working as a fry cook at the Krusty Krab. Though not every day is a walk in the park for SpongeBob, he never fails to make the best out of a bad situation. Other characters on the show usually have one of two reactions when they encounter SpongeBob and his overwhelming personality. They either join in on the fun, or they completely resent his intolerable enthusiasm.
Are you ready to...
SpongeBob Patrick, do you mind?
And number 1, of course, Squidward Tentacles.
Don't they know I'm busy spoiling myself?
Squidward may not be as enthusiastic or as lively as the other characters on this list, but he is perhaps one of the most relatable characters on the show. Like many of us, Squidward isn't satisfied with his dead-end job and has bigger dreams for himself. Even though he's often cruel to those around him, you can't help but sympathize with Squidward just a little. In a world as fictional as Bikini Bottom, Squidward's take on the absurdity around him is probably the most realistic thing that there is.
Could we please stop this?
Well, that's it. What did you think of our list? Before you leave, don't forget to give this video a like and leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Check out these other videos from the Rewind, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss another video again.